Let me ask you something that might hit deep. Have you noticed that life feels different lately? Have you felt shifts within yourself that you can't fully explain? Maybe it's like you're living in two worlds, one foot in the old reality where things feel heavy and familiar, and the other in something entirely new, lighter, and filled with potential. If you're here, if you're watching this, it's not a coincidence. You're experiencing something profound, an ascension process. Chosen ones, this is your calling. You've been feeling these weird energy shifts for a reason. The world is changing, and so are you. You're not the person you were a year ago or even a month ago. You're evolving, ascending into a higher state of consciousness, and these strange shifts you're feeling are proof of that. But let's be real. This process isn't always easy. It's confusing, intense, and sometimes downright uncomfortable. That's why today we're diving deep into the signs and the meaning behind these energy shifts. Together we'll make sense of what's happening and how you can navigate it. First, let's talk about what ascension really is. Ascension isn't some mystical concept that only happens to a chosen few. It's a natural process of spiritual evolution. It's the shedding of old energy, beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve you and stepping into a higher vibration, a state of being where you align with your true self. But here's the thing. Ascension isn't some grand event that happens overnight. It's a journey, and on this journey, you're going to feel some weird, wild, and even uncomfortable energy shifts.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
One of the first signs of ascension that many chosen ones experience is a heightened sensitivity to energy. Suddenly you feel everything, people's emotions, the energy of a room, even the shifts in the collective consciousness. It's like your senses have been dialed up to maximum intensity. And while this can feel overwhelming at first, it's actually a gift. This heightened sensitivity is your intuition expanded, it's your connection to the universe growing stronger. But let me ask you this, how are you managing this sensitivity? Are you letting it drain you, or are you using it to guide you? Because here's the truth, as a chosen one, you're not meant to absorb the energy around you, you're meant to transform it. When you feel someone's negativity or the heaviness of the world, it's not your job to carry it. Instead, see it as an opportunity to practice grounding and protecting your energy. One of the best ways to do this is through breath. Yes, something as simple as your breath can anchor you in the present moment and create a shield around your energy. Try this the next time you feel overwhelmed. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for 4, and exhale through your mouth for 4. Repeat this until you feel your energy settle. Another sign that you're ascending is the collapse of old timelines. Have you noticed how things in your life seem to be falling apart? Relationships, jobs, old habits, they're all crumbling, and it might feel like chaos. But here's the thing, this isn't happening to punish you, it's happening to free you. The old timelines, the ones where you played small, stayed stuck, or lived out of alignment with your soul, are dissolving, so you can step into the reality you're meant for. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you clinging to the old, or are you ready to let it go? Because the truth is, you can't ascend while holding on to what no longer serves you. It's like trying to climb a mountain while carrying a backpack full of rocks. At some point, you have to release the weight. Sarat. So, how do you let go of the old timelines? Start by asking yourself, what in my life feels heavy, misaligned, or out of place? Be honest with yourself. Maybe it's a toxic relationship, a job that drains you, or even a belief system that keeps you stuck in fear. Once you've identified what needs to go, set the intention to release it. You don't have to know how, just trust that the universe will guide you. Now, let's talk about physical symptoms of ascension. Yes, ascension isn't just a spiritual process, it's physical too. As your vibration rises, your body has to adjust, and this can lead to some strange and uncomfortable sensations. You might feel fatigue, headaches, tingling sensations, or even a sense of dizziness or being out of body. But don't panic. These symptoms aren't a sign that something's wrong. They're a sign that your body is recalibrating to hold more light. Think of it like upgrading your operating system. The process might be uncomfortable, but the result is worth it. So when you experience these physical symptoms, instead of resisting them, ask yourself, what does my body need right now? Maybe it's rest, hydration, or movement. Maybe it's simply giving yourself permission to slow down and honor the process. Remember, your body is your vessel, and it's doing its best to support your ascension. Another weird energy shift that proves you're ascending is a sense of time speeding up or slowing down. Have you noticed how some days feel like they fly by, while others feel like they stretch on forever? This isn't just in your head. As you ascend, your perception of time begins to shift because you're no longer bound by the linear 3D concept of time. Instead, you're starting to experience time as it truly is, fluid and multidimensional. But how do you navigate this? By staying present. Time might feel like it's speeding up, but the present moment is always still. When you anchor yourself in the now, you step out of the chaos of time and into the peace of your higher self. Finally, let's talk about synchronicities. As you ascend, you'll start to notice signs and patterns that seem too coincidental to ignore, like seeing repeating numbers, hearing the same message from multiple sources, or crossing paths with someone who has exactly what you need. These synchronicities are not random, they are the universe's way of communicating with you, guiding you along your path of ascension. But here's the important question. Are you paying attention? Are you noticing the signs, or are you brushing them off as coincidence? Because the more you tune in, the more guidance you'll receive. So, chosen ones, these weird energy shifts you're experiencing are not just random. They're proof that you're ascending. You're shedding the old, stepping into your power, and aligning with your highest self. But the question is, are you ready to fully embrace this process? Are you ready to trust the shifts even when they feel uncomfortable and step into the light you were born to embody? Now that we've explored the early signs of ascension and the strange energy shifts that come with it, let's go deeper. You see, the process of ascension isn't just about experiencing these shifts. It's about what you do with them. It's about how you respond to the discomfort, the chaos, and the transformation that's happening within you and around you. And one of the most important lessons on this journey is this. You cannot ascend while holding on to resistance. For out of recognition, let me ask you something. What are you still resisting in your life? Is it a change you know you need to make? A truth you're afraid to face? A part of yourself you're unwilling to embrace? Resistance often shows up as fear, doubt, or a refusal to let go of what's familiar, even when it no longer serves you. But here's the thing. Resistance is like a dam in the river of your ascension. It blocks the flow of energy, keeping you stuck in the old when your soul is ready to rise into the new. This is why letting go is such a vital part of the process. Letting go isn't just about releasing people, situations, or beliefs. It's about surrendering to the flow of life itself. It's about trusting that the universe knows what it's doing, even when you don't understand it. But let's be real, letting go is easier said than done. It's scary to release the things that feel safe and familiar, even when you know deep down they're holding you back. So how do you do it? How do you let go without falling into fear? The first step is awareness. You can't release what you're not aware of. Start by asking yourself, what am I holding on to that feels heavy? What in my life feels like resistance? Be honest with yourself. Maybe it's a relationship that drains you, a job that no longer aligns with your purpose, or even a belief about yourself that keeps you small. Whatever it is, bring it into the light of your awareness. Once you've identified what you're holding on to, the next step is acceptance. This might seem counterintuitive. Why would you accept something you're trying to let go of? But here's the truth. You cannot release what you're still fighting against. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with or condone the thing you're releasing. It simply means you acknowledge it for what it is, without judgment. For example, if you're holding on to a toxic relationship, acceptance might look like saying to yourself, I see that this relationship no longer serves me. I see that I've been afraid to let it go, and that's okay. I honor where I am and I trust that I can move forward when I'm ready. This brings us to the third step, surrender. Surrender is the ultimate act of trust. It's saying to the universe, I release my need to control this situation. I trust that whatever is meant for me will come, and whatever is not meant for me will fall away. But let me ask you this. What would happen if you truly surrendered? If you stopped clinging, stopped resisting, and allowed yourself to flow with the energy of life? Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the divine plan that's already unfolding for you. And here's the beautiful thing. When you surrender, you make space for miracles. Because now, let's talk about the energy shifts that happen when you finally let go. When you release resistance, you free up an incredible amount of energy that was previously tied up in fear, doubt, and control. This energy doesn't just disappear, it transforms. It becomes the fuel for your ascension, lifting you into higher states of awareness, peace, and joy. One of the most profound shifts you'll notice after letting go is a sense of lightness. It's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You feel freer, more expansive, more in tune with the flow of life. This lightness isn't just emotional, it's energetic. As you release dense, heavy energy, your vibration naturally rises, aligning you with the higher frequencies of love, abundance, and possibility. But here's the question: are you willing to let yourself feel this lightness? Sometimes we get so used to carrying the weight of the past that we don't know who we are without it. But I want you to know this: you are not your past. You are not your pain. You are so much more than the things you've been holding on to. In this state of lightness, you'll also notice a deeper sense of clarity. When you're no longer clouded by resistance, you can see your path more clearly. You start to understand what's truly important to you, what aligns with your soul, and what steps you need to take next. This clarity is a gift, but it requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the universe. Another shift you'll experience is synchronicity on a whole new level. When you let go of resistance, you align yourself with the flow of the universe. Suddenly, things start falling into place. You meet the right people at the right time. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Signs and messages show up to guide you. This isn't magic, it's alignment. When you're no longer fighting against the current, you allow the universe to carry you toward your highest good. But here's the thing: letting go isn't a one-time event. It's a practice. As you continue to ascend, you'll be called to release more and more layers of old beliefs, patterns, and attachments that no longer serve you. And with each release, you'll rise higher, expanding into new levels of awareness and possibility. So I'll leave you with this question: what are you ready to let go of today? Maybe it's a fear that's been holding you back. Maybe it's a story you've been telling yourself about who you are or what you're capable of. Whatever it is, trust that you have the strength to release it. Trust that the universe has something better waiting for you. You are an ascending, chosen one. You are shedding the old and stepping into the new. And as you let go, you'll discover that the very things you thought you couldn't live without were the things holding you back all along. Let's take a moment to reflect. You've felt the shifts. You've started to let go. You've begun to see the patterns fall away, the old energy dissolving, and the lightness of your higher self emerging. But here's the next step, and it's one that many chosen ones overlook: integration. You see, ascension isn't just about reaching higher states of consciousness or shedding the old. It's about learning how to live in alignment with your new vibration. It's about taking the insights, the shifts, and the changes you've experienced and weaving them into the fabric of your everyday life. Because what's the point of ascending if you can't ground that energy and embody it in the here and now? Let me ask you this: how are you showing up in the world with this new energy? Are you living in alignment with the version of yourself that you're becoming? Or are you still clinging to old habits, routines, and ways of being? Ascension isn't just about meditating in isolation or having profound spiritual moments. It's about what you do when you're stuck in traffic, having a difficult conversation, or facing a challenge in your work or relationships. It's about embodying your higher self in the most ordinary moments. This is where the real work begins, because integration isn't always easy. Here's the thing: as you ascend, your vibration changes, but the world around you might not immediately reflect that change. You might still encounter people, situations, and environments that feel dense or misaligned with your new energy. And this can feel jarring, like you're straddling two worlds. The old one that you're leaving behind, and the new one that you're stepping into. But here's the truth. You are the bridge between these two worlds. As a chosen one, you're here to anchor the light of your ascension into the physical plane. You're here to show others what's possible when you live in alignment with your higher self. And this begins with how you navigate your own integration process. The first step to integration is grounding. As much as ascension is about rising into higher frequencies, it's equally about staying rooted in the present moment. Think of a tree. The taller it grows, the deeper its roots must be. Without grounding, the energy shifts you're experiencing can feel overwhelming or even chaotic. So let me ask you, how are you grounding yourself during this process? Are you making time to connect with your body, nature, and the earth? Are you creating space in your daily life to slow down, breathe, and just be? Grounding doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as walking barefoot on the grass, sitting under a tree, or practicing mindful breathing. The key is to bring your awareness out of your mind and into your body. Another important part of integration is intention. As you ascend, you're being given an incredible opportunity to redefine who you are and how you show up in the world. But this requires conscious intention. Without it, it's easy to slide back into old patterns or get swept up in the energy of the collective. Take a moment to ask yourself, what kind of life am I creating? What kind of energy do I want to bring into my relationships, my work, and my daily interactions? Remember, you're no longer operating from the limitations of your old self. You're creating from a higher vibration now. So set clear intentions for how you want to live and revisit those intentions often. Yet here's where things get tricky. Integration often brings up new challenges. As you vibrate higher, you might notice that certain people, habits, or environments feel increasingly uncomfortable. This isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that you're outgrowing what no longer aligns with your new energy. But let me ask you this. Are you willing to honor the discomfort and make the necessary shifts? Because integration sometimes requires you to make tough choices. Maybe it's setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. Maybe it's leaving a job or situation that no longer feels aligned. Maybe it's confronting a fear or limiting belief that's been holding you back. This process can feel challenging, even lonely at times. But remember, every choice you make to align with your higher self strengthens your vibration and anchors your ascension into your physical reality. Another key to integration is patience. Ascension is not a race. There's no finish line, no final destination. It's a lifelong journey of growth, expansion, and learning. And as you integrate your new energy, you might find that some days feel effortless, while others feel heavy or confusing. This is normal. Growth is not linear, and neither is ascension. So I want you to ask yourself, am I being patient and gentle with myself during this process? It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, or when old patterns resurface. But remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Trust the timing of your journey. One of the most beautiful aspects of integration is the way it deepens your connection to others. As you ascend, you'll notice that your relationships begin to shift. Some will fall away, making space for new connections that align with your vibration. Others will deepen as you bring more authenticity, compassion, and presence into your interactions. We go on further quests through life, yearning for contribution. But here's a powerful question to reflect on. How are you showing up in your relationships as your higher self? Are you bringing love, understanding, and patience into your interactions? Or are you still reacting from old wounds and patterns? Integration invites you to approach your relationships from a place of wholeness, rather than seeking validation or fulfillment from others. Finally, integration is about trusting your intuition. Ascension amplifies your connection to your inner guidance, and as you integrate your new energy, you'll start to notice that your intuition becomes sharper, clearer, and more reliable. But here's the thing: are you listening to it? Your intuition is your compass on this journey. It will guide you toward what's aligned and steer you away from what's not. But it requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the universe. So, chosen one, integration is where the magic happens. It's where you take all the shifts, realizations, and growth you've experienced and bring them into your daily life. It's where you bridge the gap between your spiritual self and your human self, creating a life that reflects the truth of who you are. You're not just ascending, you're becoming the embodiment of your ascension. And as you align your new vibration with your daily life, you'll find that the world around you begins to shift to match your energy. This is your power. This is your purpose. And this is just the beginning. You felt the energy shifts. You've released the weight of the old. You've started integrating your new vibration into everyday life. But now comes the final, most profound step in your ascension journey: embodiment. This is where you stop merely understanding your higher self and start living as it. This is where you step into your role as a chosen one, not just for yourself, but for the collective. Let me ask you something. What does it mean to embody your ascension? Think about it. It's not just about meditating or feeling high vibe all the time. It's about being a walking expression of your soul's truth. It's about showing up in the world as the fullest, most authentic version of yourself, no matter what's happening around you. Don't guess up, my friends. It's time to start stepping into the fullest performance that you were born to be. But here's the challenge. The world isn't always going to reflect your higher vibration back to you. You might still encounter fear, negativity, and resistance from others. You might feel the weight of the collective energy, especially during times of chaos or upheaval. And this is where your role as a chosen one becomes clear. You're not here to escape the world. You're here to transform it. So how do you embody your ascension while navigating the challenges of the collective energy? The first key is staying rooted in your truth. As you ascend, you'll find that the external world becomes less of a guide and more of a mirror. Instead of looking to others for validation or direction, you begin to rely on your own inner compass. This is your truth, your connection to your higher self, your intuition, and your soul's purpose. But let me ask you this: are you fully trusting your truth, or are you still seeking permission from others to live it? Because here's the thing: when you embody your ascension, you might not always fit in. You might make choices that others don't understand. You might walk a path that feels lonely at times. But your truth is your power, and the more you honor it, the more aligned your life will become. One of the most important aspects of embodiment is living in alignment with your values. Take a moment to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What do I stand for? These questions are crucial because as you ascend, your values may shift. You might find that things you once cared about, like status, material success, or external approval, no longer hold the same weight. Instead, you're drawn to things that nourish your soul, like connection, authenticity, and purpose. Living in alignment with your values isn't always easy. It requires courage. It might mean saying no to opportunities that don't resonate with your soul. It might mean walking away from relationships or environments that feel misaligned. But every time you choose alignment over fear, you strengthen your connection to your higher self. Another aspect of embodiment is radiating your light. As a chosen one, your energy is your greatest gift. It's not just what you do, but who you are that makes an impact. Your vibration influences everyone and everything around you, whether you realize it or not. But here's the question: are you letting your light shine, or are you dimming it to make others comfortable? So many chosen ones fall into the trap of shrinking themselves because they're afraid of being too much. They're afraid of standing out, of being judged, or of triggering others. But here's the truth: your light is not too much. It's exactly what the world needs. When you embody your ascension, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible. You show people that it's okay to be authentic, to follow their intuition, to let go of the old and step into the new. You become a beacon for the collective, guiding others toward their own awakening. But let's talk about the collective for a moment. As a chosen one, you're deeply connected to the energy of the whole. You feel it in your body, your emotions, your thoughts. When the collective is in turmoil, you might feel it as anxiety, heaviness, or restlessness. When the collective is rising, you might feel it as joy, expansion, or inspiration. This connection to the collective is both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, it allows you to sense what's happening on a larger scale. It helps you understand the shift that humanity is going through. But on the other hand, it can feel overwhelming, especially when the collective energy feels dense or chaotic. So how do you embody your ascension while staying grounded in the collective energy? The key is compassion. Compassion for yourself, for others, and for the world as a whole. Remember, everyone is on their own journey. Not everyone is at the same stage of awakening, and that's okay. Let me ask you this: can you hold space for others without taking on their energy? This is one of the most powerful skills you can develop as a chosen one. It's about being a source of love and understanding without losing yourself in the process. It's about offering your light without depleting your own energy. One way to do this is through energetic boundaries. Imagine your energy field as a sphere of light surrounding you. Visualize it strong, clear, and radiant. This is your sacred space, your connection to your higher self. Whenever you feel the weight of the collective, take a moment to strengthen your boundaries. Remind yourself that you can hold space for others while staying rooted in your own vibration. Finally, let's talk about service. As a chosen one, your ascension isn't just for you, it's for the collective. You've been given this gift of awakening so that you can share it with others. But here's the thing. Service doesn't mean sacrificing yourself or trying to save others. It means living in alignment with your purpose and allowing your light to inspire those around you. Ask yourself, what gifts do I have to offer the world? How can I use my energy, my voice, and my actions to uplift others? Your service doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as offering a kind word, holding space for someone in need, or sharing your truth in an authentic way. When you embody your ascension, you become a force for transformation, not just in your own life, but in the world. You become a bridge between the old and the new, the human and the divine, the seen and the unseen. So, chosen one, this is your invitation. Will you step fully into your role? Will you embody your ascension and live as the radiant, powerful being you were born to be? The world is waiting for your light. It's time to shine.